Wang, bang, wow! What was that sound? Must have hit a log. You look back. Oh, it's in neutral. What the heck happened? Let's start it up and try again. You throw it in gear, take off. Bang! Shut it down. It's in neutral again. Man, that thing is jumping out of gear. What the heck is going on? You didn't hit a log. Your motor's jumping out of gear. And in a minute, I'm going to show you exactly why it's jumping out of gear and why it's your fault. You know, I always say it takes three things to make a vintage outboard motor run: compression, spark, and fuel. But you can throw those three things out the window today, because if you can't get the power of this vintage outboard motor down to the gearbox through dusty old grinded out gears, you don't have a vintage outboard motor. You have a very expensive blender. So the problem with your motor jumping out of gear, it's not up in the power head, it's down in the gearbox, all right? And we can't see into this gearbox because of all this aluminum. So I've built what I call the truth box. It's a box that'll tell you the truth about what's going on with your gears and why it's your fault. Welcome to the truth box. I built this because you can't see through the aluminum housing. We need to see the sin to understand the forgiveness. See this shaft here? That goes up to your engine. It's spinning about 4,000 RPM. It never stops spinning. See those gears there? The forward, reverse, and pinion gear. They never stop spinning. As long as that engine is running, they're always spinning. This is the star of the show, the clutch dog. It's keyed to the prop shaft. It slides back and forth. This has these ears or dogs like this on them. And this is where the magic or the tragedy happens. So the shifting happens when this clutch dog is moved by the shift rod in either direction, moved into reverse, and the prop shaft shifts counterclockwise. Moved into forward gear, and the prop shaft shifts clockwise. That's how the shifting happens. Now the question is, how are you shifting your motor? Are you using the granny shift? I want to know you love your vintage outboard motor. You treat it like a baby. So when you shift it, you're gentle. Ease that clutch dog forward and backwards. So nice and slow. If you do that, you can hear it up top. You hear it click, click, click. You hear those ears trying to catch on these ears, and they're click, 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 clicking nice and slow. Grinding, grinding, grinding. Imagine taking a sledgehammer and tapping the corner of a brick 500 times. Eventually that corner is gone. That's what you're doing. You're rounding off the edges. You're taking off the bite that holds the gear in place. Okay, so if your clutch dog has a problem, you've been using the granny shift. You're not shifting it with force. You're shifting it like an old grandma, kind of slow. So how do you know if granny's got your gears? Well, if you're driving and as you're throttling up, your motor's jumping in and out, in and out. That's the gears that are rounded off, and it's like a ramp. They're coming over, instead of catching on the other ear, they're slipping over it. You hear your motor going. If it goes out and slips back into neutral, then you've really got problems. So don't panic. Now that you know that you've caused it by the granny shift, just contact me. I got a parts house full of these parts. Can't repair the clutch dog, but you can replace them, and I got the parts for you. So how do we stop the carnage? How do we stop damaging our gears? Quit doing the granny shift. First thing is you gotta idle it down. Shifting it in gear with it at too high of an idle is hitting them ears together. Gotta have your motor running good and idle down as far as it'll go before you shift. And don't granny shift. Don't ease it into gear. Snap it. So slow idle and snap it into gear. You ought to hear one click. That's that first gear ear hitting the other ear one time. If you're hearing click, 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 then you're idling up too fast or you're shifting too slow. So it's a combination of a slow idle and a fast shift. That's how it's done. So next time you're on that water, don't be a granny. Snap it into gear. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making it. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and visit my website, TMikeVintageOutboard.com. I got all the parts, videos, and technical consulting you need. And you can always call me if you need help. See you next video.